Hey, it's John Jakes, and this is a really important video. I have some exciting updates for you, and I actually built a brand new training from scratch per your request. But first off, I just wanted to say thank you so much for getting Viral Secrets. The response has been amazing. Those of you emailing and finding me on Facebook to say how much it's helped or what you've learned, that means the world to me. So seriously, thank you so much. I also got my first piece of feedback. I wanted to share it with you right now and explain how I'm going to address it right here in this video. The feedback was basically this: John, I went through all the Viral Secrets videos. I thought they were great. I just wish there were some more tactical or hands-on trainings in there. And I wanted to talk about this for a second in case you might have felt something similar. So bottom line, I completely agree. In Viral Secrets, I talked one-on-one to the camera quite a bit. I felt I had to give you my background story in case you've never met me before. And of course, I had those slides to illustrate the points and make the concepts easy to understand. But I could have done more by taking out a whiteboard, maybe drawing some things out. I could have done more screen shares like I do in a lot of my other courses, things like that. And I think this brand new bonus training solves for that completely. Understand this, couple things. Number one, you're part of the very first wave of people to ever get Viral Secrets. I launched mid-February 2019, and it's going to constantly evolve. That's why anytime I make new trainings and bonuses, you're going to get those for free. And that's my promise to you. You are grandfathered in, just like with any of the updates with my other products. Once you're in, you pay once, that's it. You get all the updates free of charge. And that's how I work. The other thing is too, just understand that I can't get too crazy hands-on or too tactical or too advanced talking about retargeting or custom audiences or automation rules because the price point is so low right now. You only pay for shipping and handling on Viral Secrets. So I get people from all walks of life who get it. Some people who don't even have a Facebook page. So just know that it's a tough balance for me with wanting to give you all these crazy tactical strategies with trying to be fair to everyone and give them strategies that they can apply and see results with pretty easily. And that's why I have some of my other courses. And to that point, I want you to know that you are not obligated to go ahead and invest in any of the other trainings that I produce. My goal with all these updates and with all this feedback is to make Viral Secrets the very best that it could be. And I want it to get to a point where you're so impressed and so blown away with the results and what you've been able to achieve. Even if you don't get anything else, or if you never talk to me again, you leave saying, wow, that was worth every penny. I absolutely loved what I learned in there. And so that's my promise to you. So just know that there are other products there if you want to go deeper, if you want to get more tactical, if you want to do things faster, but they are not by any means a requirement. So I hope that helps so you can know where I'm coming from. Much more to come. And let's get into the training right now where I go deep on distribution and how to set up a distribution network that is going to get a lot of attention on your videos. I told you what it is, but I didn't really show you step-by-step how to set it up. I'm going to do that right now. Check it out. This right here is a very special, probably unexpected bonus training for you. It was not included in version 1 of Viral Secrets, but I got some incredible feedback from people, and this is something a lot of people wanted to see. So I'm going to break it down for you step by step. And I also want you to know that when you invest in any of my products, as I make updates and revisions, which I constantly am, you're grandfathered in and you'll be getting those updates for free as well. So in the last module, you learned all about distribution and why it's so important. But I never actually took the time to break down one really powerful, really effective distribution strategy that you can just go out and do a couple days from now and see some really awesome results with. And like I said, distribution is 70% of the battle. So that's why it's really important, and I really wanted to get this update because it's going to make all the difference for you. So take a look. This is a quick slide that I made, and it's showing a actual case study of when I finally had this epiphany about distribution and figured all this stuff out. So the video on the left was launched on March 14th, 2017. Video on the right, March 14th, 2017, same exact date. The videos, the content itself is very similar. It's me going out there, making an inspirational video, sharing acts of kindness, trying to bring some positivity to the world. So the videos are slightly different, but very similar content. The video on the left has 813 views, 4 shares, and about 73 likes. The video on the right has over 820,000 views, 5,635 shares, and almost 7,000 engagements. Well, what is the main difference? If these two videos are very similar, if they're launched on the exact same day, these are both videos that I created. I'm in this one. You just can't see it in the thumbnail. So what's the difference? Well, there are a number of differences. Obviously, just visually, you can tell I did all of the elements and implemented all of the things that I shared with you in Viral Secrets. The headline to get people to stop dead in their tracks, that's going to get you more views right away. I have subtitles here as well, so that the people watching with the sound off, boom, you bring those people in. You're not losing that audience. There's a call to action at the end of the video, which you cannot see, obviously, but here's the massive difference. Video on the left was shared on my Facebook page, and at the time I had a couple thousand fans. That's it. The video on the right was shared on Bright Vibes Facebook page, and at that time I think they had about 1 million fans. Distribution, you can see, is the entire difference, right? Who has a better shot? Even if this was the exact same video, who has a better shot of going viral? Me on the left with only a couple thousand fans at the time, or sending this video to a page that has 1 million fans and getting them to push it out? Obviously them, because they're reaching so many more people. And if you have all these elements here to get people to like and comment and share, you're going to do way better simply because of distribution. So if you're struggling on Facebook, and this applies to Instagram as well, if you're struggling to get viewership and your videos are only getting a couple hundred views, just know, like I mentioned, it's not the content. The content, sure, it has to be good. And if you have an exceptional piece of content, you're going to get a lot more shares, right? But the main thing you're probably not doing right now, if you're not seeing results, is you don't have the distribution set up. And at this point, and this is the one strategy I'm going to share with you, I have plenty of strategies on how to do this for free, and also paid distribution strategies where you run ads and you can guarantee your video hits 1 million views if you want to. But I have all these strategies on how to do this, and I want to show you how I create a distribution network where I have a list of pages. Every time I post a video, because it's good content for their audience, they're sharing it for free. And that's how I have this network of 80 million people who every single week when I post a video have the potential to see that video. So let me break it down for you right now. Let's go back into my analytics for the needle through balloon video, beat pain with progress. Okay, I showed you all this cool stuff, right? Well, one thing that I didn't showcase in version 1 of Viral Secrets is what's going on right down here. It says this video is used in 4 posts, okay? So everything in this course up until this point is absolutely critical. But I wanted to make this training because this right here, if you can build this distribution network, if you can get these partnerships, is the most important part, and it's going to change everything for you. So check this out, right? This is my post right here. I had 13 million views just off of my post alone. Well, I also had, as you can see up at the top, and I talked about this, it's under engagement. We're not going to go into it right now, but over 500,000 regular people shared this particular video because they liked it, and it went out to all their friends in the newsfeed. Well, what really moved the weight? Yes, of course, the regular people with 2,000 friends on Facebook, that made a massive difference, right? That all adds up. It creates this viral effect that happens. But what pulled weight was that we had these massive, massive pages that I worked out partnerships with who shared this video to their audiences. So as you can see right here, this one page, The Magic Show, got me 12 million views on this video, and they shared this video for free. This page, Thinking Humanity, almost 1 million views just off of that page alone. Also, this Humanity page, same guy runs both of the pages, about 100,000 views. Okay, so when I posted this video initially, right, just all the regular people who were sharing it, the over 500,000 shares, got 13 million views. That's pretty cool, right? But how did I find and get my video out to all those regular people? These different pages that shared my video pulled a ton of weight. And just here, I reached 12 million people, which fed into this number right here, and it just helped boost everything up. I hope that makes sense to you, right? So if you're out there and you're posting content to your 2,000 Facebook friends or your 2,000 followers on Instagram and you think this is going to be a viral success, it's going to be a very much an uphill battle. If you really want to win at this, you have to find the people with the audience, and there's tons of methods to do it. I'm going to give you one really concrete one right now, but there's tons of methods to do it. If you find those people with the audience and you get that audience to focus on your piece of content, boom, that's distribution. That's how you go viral. And once you start to get really good at this, if you're putting out frequent content and you're putting out videos every single week, you start to build up this list of distribution partners. And so now I'm at a point where I know, okay, every video I put out, I'm going to do at least 1 million views. Because if it's being shared to 80 million people, even if it's a terrible video, I'm going to do at least 1 million. And that's how you can guarantee success on social media. And this works for Facebook and it works for Instagram as well. YouTube is a little bit more reliant on the algorithm. It's definitely trickier. It's very hard or harder to grow a following on YouTube, but it does work for Facebook and Instagram, and especially Facebook. Now, if you're getting me so far, and feel free to go back and watch if you're not grasping this just yet, but if you're getting me so far, you might be thinking, well, John, reach is down on Facebook. So how is this going to work? And so that's true, right? Reach is down on Facebook. Organic reach is what we're talking about here. But this strategy, as long as you see people on Facebook who are able to generate millions of views, this strategy still works. Your goal is to find the pages that have the audience, that have the great engagement, and work with them. And just because reach is down, that only means not that this doesn't work. It works, believe me. It works for me to this day. It just means you might need to have a couple more additional pages than before. Whereas before, if I was just to get some random page and it gets me 1 million views, now I might need 2 pages to achieve that same result. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense to you, and I think it will make more sense as we continue on with this training. So this is what's happening behind the scenes. So let me show you the Magic Show. Okay? We can click over, and this is a page that reached out to me. It's actually another magician who I've got to know and developed a relationship with, and that's what this strategy is all about. It's about relationships. So their page, you can see they straight up shared my video. I do not think they shared this. This was a cross post on Facebook. And if you don't know what it is, I don't want to just overwhelm you with too much, but the bottom line is this. You reach out to a bunch of pages, you get them to share your video in order to make this work, and I'll break down a little bit more, almost the hierarchy of how this happens. So as you can see, they cross-posted this video, and that's what took this thing off and set it on fire. That was part of it, right? Obviously, you know, everything that I did and the other stuff I was working on helped. But this page has 11 million followers. They shared my video for free. Obviously, at that time when this balloon video launched, I had a couple thousand fans. That's it. Like, my audience was 0, but I found the audience with pages just like this. Okay? So let me walk you through the process now of how you go about doing this for your space. So let's say you're making a video about music. So you go into Facebook. If you type in music, this is a little slow. I got people messaging me and stuff like that. And then we go right over here to the Pages tab. So if you're a music artist, you type in music, you see, boom, here are all these pages that have music-related content. Now, if you're just starting out, if you have no reach, if you have no audience, if you have no credibility, you're just going to have to start smaller and sort of leapfrog up the ladder as you grow. And I'll show you the ultimate outcome in a few minutes now. But you're going to look for, if you're just beginning, a page that has probably a couple 100,000 likes and followers on that page. Okay, so a page like Apple Music, they're probably not going to work with you because you're too small time. It's not going to make sense for them. A page like Music Crowns is too big. 3.3 million followers on that page. So that's a little tricky. But a random page like this with 197,000 followers, what you would do is you would go in, you would click into that page, and you would see what their engagement looks like. Okay, are these people getting consistent likes and comments and shares on their content? If not, you either find another page that's better and different, but that's still kind of what I would call a tier 3 page, like not like, you know, BuzzFeed, right? Like a tier 3 kind of publisher. And if their engagement's low, it means you can either find a new page or you just need more of them to create the same impact. So we would look here. I've never looked at this page in my life. It looks like this video got 37,000 views. Great. 57 shares. It's so-so. These posts are going to be tough because these are very recent posts. This one, 67,000 views. That's a reshare. So basically what I would go do is I would do some research on their page, right? I'd start to see, okay, are they getting good engagement? How many fans do they have overall? And believe me, you'll find the hidden gems. You'll find the pages that even this day and age, when Facebook organic reach is lower than it was before, you'll find these sort of golden opportunities where you can get in the door and get them to repost and share your content. And if you can do that, and if you start to build out this network, my gosh, you'll guarantee virality long term. And it makes a massive difference. Okay, so that's an example with music, right? Now let's say you're in real estate. Now you go ahead, you do the same thing. You find a page in real estate. Again, we're in the pages section, very important. And you start to find a page with, I'd say, a couple 100,000 followers on that page. So this personal blog page might be perfect, right? The lighter side of real estate. Now you're going to want to go in and you're going to want to research their page, read about them, and the main thing is look for that engagement, see where it's at to make sure that it's going to be a good fit and they're actually going to be able to get you views if they reshare your content. It's very important. The other thing you're going to want to look for is this a business? Right? If you're in real estate and you go to, let's say, Century 21 or Coldwell Banker or another real estate company and you're expecting them to share your video, unless you're a part of that company, it's not going to happen, right? Because there's a conflict of interest. So you just have to use common sense when you're evaluating these pages to see if they're a good fit. You know, if you're a music artist, you still might be able to get another music artist to share your content, right? That's called a collaboration in this social media world. It's totally possible. But the people who really are your perfect target are what we call publishers, right? They're these pages that take content from here, and they're sharing a bunch of different videos and stories and articles from all different places. And if you could find a page like that, you're going to be able to get in the door, and this is what they're looking for. So think about this, right? The benefit to that page, they need content to survive. Just like a newspaper needs to have articles in it or you're not going to buy it, or a magazine, right? That's their content. If they don't have good content that gets you to purchase that newspaper or magazine, they're not going to survive. And it's the same thing on social media. If these big publishers who are posting regular content from other people don't have good content, no one is going to want to engage with their page. So your content needs to definitely be good, and it needs to be a fit for the particular page that you're targeting. So we go here, okay, great. Like this could be a home run page, 1,200 shares. If you're in real estate right now and you see that this checks out and this isn't just a major competitor, as long as you're getting less than 72,000 views on average, this video or this page can give you a huge boost for all of your videos. So you literally, no matter what industry you're in, I guarantee you there are pages and there are places that are sharing content. They have big audiences, they've done the hard work already, and even if you're first starting, you can piggyback off of that success and you can get them to get your message out to all of their followers and their friends on that platform. Now, it's important when you do this, you have to constantly think what's in it for them, right? You have to position this partnership as a way for them to get really great content that their audience is going to like and engage with, and that's going to be interesting. So that's why content still matters. Don't take when I say content's 30% of the battle to mean you can just put out a bunch of crummy videos that no one wants to watch. Content is still very important. But what's more important? It's this stuff right here. This is way more important because this makes the difference between 800 views and 800,000 views. What else can I say on that? So now let's talk about the process of reaching out to the actual page. So you would click into the page itself, you would go to their About section, and a lot of the more reputable pages, just like this, have their email address right there in the About section of that page. So you send them an email. Hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm one of the biggest commercial real estate agents in the Orlando, Florida area. I've been creating some really awesome videos on what to look for when purchasing a commercial property. And I would love to give you these videos for free if you wouldn't mind sharing them to your audience on Facebook. You send them a quick little email like that. You have to build credibility, explain who you are, and then get them to see the value in taking on your content. And you'd send them an example in there. So that should give you enough to go out there and create this stuff. In Facebook Famous, my bigger course, I actually have a template for you to use that you can use, but I just want to make sure that I give you a bunch of stuff in a very short video in order to make this the most valuable. So you reach out to their page, and you're going to do this with 50, 60, 100 pages, as many as you can find, and you send them the same kind of notes. If they don't have an email, you send them a message on their Facebook page. Email takes priority because they get a lot of messages, especially if they're a bigger page, and you're probably going to get ignored. It's also important to follow up. You send this on day 1, 2 days later, hey, just wanted to send a quick follow-up. Does this make sense to you? You want to make sure that you keep on top of this because these page owners are busy, they have a lot going on, and otherwise you're not going to cut through the noise. Okay, so that is the process for actually getting in touch with these pages. And that is exactly what I did to get Bright Vibes. I said, listen, I'm starting out on Facebook. I make videos about positivity and inspiration. I think they're really going to help your page. Is this something that you wouldn't mind sharing? What can we do to get this shared? And they'll tell you. And sometimes they might require money, or sometimes they might say, well, we need to take your video, the raw file, and we want to upload it to our page, but we'll give you a little credit tag. The credit tag is not as effective. On Facebook in particular, it's better if they simply reshare it because then all the views come to your video, not their video, and it's a lot easier for people to convert to actually become a follower if they straight share your video. So that is priority, but when you're first starting, you take what you can get, okay? So I just wanted to make that clear. But a good question to ask in that email is, what's the best way to get this out to your audience? And that question is going to help you out a lot. Now, as I explain in Viral Secrets, right? Your hook, everything designed about your video, if you want to go viral, needs to be mainstream. It needs to be something that captures a ton of people's attention, right? So if you're a doctor or you're a chiropractor or you're in real estate or you're a musician, whatever it is, if your goal is to go viral, okay, If your goal is to get millions of views, you need to make this message mainstream, and you need to very much so get creative inserting yourself into relevant conversations. And here's what I mean by that, okay? You need to find the pages that have the audience if you don't, or if your space does not. So here's what I mean. I had a couple people who went and applied this exact strategy in Facebook Famous when they were first starting out, and they came back to me and they said, "Hey, John, I'm a shoemaker," or something like totally random, right? Like I like do this very niche, tiny thing, and there are no pages in my space on Facebook. What do I do? Well, that's when you simply have to broaden your messaging and get something that's going to reach more people. And I'll show you what I mean. So here's one example of how I did it, right? I made this inspirational video about this guy who I met in Venice Beach. His name's Michael. He was in prison. He has a very interesting story, and now he literally paints seashells that he collects on the beach. These beautiful little seashells. He turns them into ladybugs and all these cool things, and he sells them on the beach to survive. That's how he makes money. That's how he's able to eat and put clothes on his body and things like that. So I interviewed him. Great video, awesome interview, and he was a pleasure to talk to and really cool guy to get to know. Well, after that video, I made it, I posted it, not too much happened. I said, all right, well, what can we do here, right? Like, not a lot of people are responding to this video. Some of the other motivational pages that I was working with at that time who were sharing my other videos, they didn't think it was the perfect fit for them. So how do I make a random seashell video go viral? Well, here's what I did. I found this page, and I'll show you. I typed in beach, and I typed in seashells right in Facebook, okay? And I went to pages, and I found this page. I'll see if I can find it for you. I think it's this one right here. The beach is my happy place, okay? So I went to this page owner, and think about this, right? I make motivational videos. I make inspirational videos. You know, you're a doctor, you're a chiropractor, you're in real estate, you're doing whatever you do, okay? Well, guess what? I just found a roundabout way to insert myself in a relevant conversation with a page that is moving the needle. And I'll relate this back to you in just a second. So I said, all right, I got this really cool video about this guy who makes seashells on the beach. Let me look at travel sites. Let me expand my thinking here to try to get creative to find a page that will pick this up. So I searched travel sites. I searched sites on seashells and beach and random things, and I found this massive page, 1.4 million fans. I reached out. I said, hey, I have this really cool video about the beach. It's this guy who creates these beautiful seashells on the beach. Is this something you wouldn't mind sharing? Boom. After I think a day or two, they got back to me. They shared that video for free because it was cool content for their beach audience, even though it's an acts of kindness, inspiration, motivational video. So you can see how I got creative there to try to finagle my way in to finding an audience that would want to watch and would enjoy that video. Okay, so to the person who was first starting out and just got Facebook famous and they're in this niche space, I said, listen, you have to go broader. You have to think bigger. If there aren't any audiences when you go and type in whatever your thing is up here, you have to say, okay, that's fine. Well, my goal is to go viral. My goal is to get a lot of views. Let me go out there and find the audiences. Okay, so if you're a real estate agent and let's say there weren't a bunch of real estate pages, what you would do is you'd say, all right, you know what? This isn't really what I'm going for, but let me broaden this up. Instead of making a video just about real estate, let me make a more inspirational or a business-focused video that has a business tip, because I know that there are massive pages that are out there for entrepreneurs. And so this video of you sharing this business tip or this advice reaches millions of people. Well, guess what? Those people come back. they check out your page, they start following you, and they say, oh, that's cool, this person is in real estate. And that's when, because that video went so viral, you're able to grow your following, get those shares, and if it's not a huge space that you're in, if there aren't huge pages, you can see how you can broaden your content focus, you can broaden your message, you can broaden your horizons and find the people with the audiences. And the bottom line, again, these pages need good content. So literally, if you are willing to give them content that they want, and even if you're in real estate, but you find that, let's say, a lot of families buy your houses, go to a page where you know their audience is a ton of families who could be potential clients for you, and say, hey, I'm going to create some really great content for you. Are you interested in sharing it? And you go out and you create content that's focused on families, even though you're in real estate, because you know when that content goes viral, that's when people dig deeper and learn more about you. But viral, again, is a lot different than direct response marketing. That's why if you want to go viral, you got to go big, okay? So I hope that this whole process makes sense. And so what you end up with, and I'll show you, sort of the final result in 1 second here. What you end up with is you reach out to dozens of these pages. Yes, it takes a little bit of time, but ultimately you work with one, and then another one, and then another one, and you maintain those relationships with those pages so that everything that you put out, you get them to ideally share. And not everything will be a fit, but you can see how you start to create this network that's all driving traffic to your video, all driving eyeballs to your page and on your content. And that's how you win in this game. That's how this works, okay? And then when you get to the level that I've been able to achieve, where you have a list of pages and everyone's sharing your stuff and every video you're putting out is going viral if you want it to, right? There are times when I'm not really proud of a video or a piece of content, so I don't reach out to all the pages and say, hey, can you share this one? Sometimes I let the content sit. If I see that, okay, it didn't go where I wanted it to naturally, I don't do this with every video, but I have that option and I have those relationships there if I need it. And then, sure enough, right, this is an email from literally, I think, last week. You get people, once you're so viral, you get these pages coming to you, right? Once you get to a certain level, these pages say, oh, that's a great piece of content. They maybe saw another page who's a competitor of theirs share it, and they say, hey, listen, look at this, right? We saw your videos. They're amazing. Can we have your permission to post on our Facebook pages? Holy smokes, right? This dude just reached out to me, and he's saying, hey, I'll put you in front of 15 million people here, 13 million people here, 9 million people, 4 million people. And this, ideally, is what you're going to build on your own, right, through these partnerships. But when you get to what I've been able to do, doing this for a while, and when you're moving and activating on this, well, pretty soon you get pages like this coming to you saying, hey, we have 50 million followers. We'd be happy, really happy to see your amazing videos. We'll give you credit on your social media accounts. Let's go viral. How cool is that? Right? This might actually be a female, by the way. I know I wasn't sure. I can't tell based on the name. But you get the idea, right? So like you start to build this up. You start to do this strategy, and then boom, amazing doors open up. Crazy things happen. It's all about distribution. All those other elements I showed you in Viral Secrets up until this point, those are going to help you format the content correctly so that when you go to these pages for distribution, it's going to lift off the ground and you're going to get those likes and comments and shares. If you go to these pages and you have a 15-minute Facebook Live and you're getting them to share it, guess what? Nowhere near the same effect. And so that's why everything that I've shown you in Viral Secrets is so, so important. And that's why this training literally just hits the nail on the head, puts the nail in the coffin, and this is everything that you need to know. So I really hope this helps you, and I'll say one more thing on this, right? On Facebook, we have incredibly undervalued media. That's why for my own personal audience, I said, hey, I'm going to focus on Facebook. It's the fastest, it's the easiest, it's the cheapest platform to grow on. Even right now, this year, At the time of this update, I 100% stand by that. People are talking about Instagram. People are talking about YouTube. Guess what? Those platforms, if you want to do this same thing on Instagram, yes, it works, but they are not as nice, because the Instagram pages that are established, they want money, money, money. And so I've been quoted upwards of $500 just for a page to take one of my videos, post it on their Instagram page, keep it up for 4 hours, get me some traffic to my page, get me some followers, and then they delete that post. How ridiculous is that, right? Whereas on Facebook, I have people literally coming to me for free with 50 million people at their disposal, and that's it, right? Like, they'll share it for free. And it's because these guys aren't as savvy. A lot of them aren't getting massive brand deals, but that's your opportunity, because this is a lightning fast way to grow, and it's a way to do this so much quicker than you can on YouTube, where you're like handcuffed to this algorithm and you put out a bunch of YouTube videos and they just sit there because YouTube has to index those videos, and if you're lucky, you might end up in a couple random related videos on the side, or you might end up in the search results, but you're just rolling the dice for the most part, unless you want to spend a lot of money to grow on YouTube. On Instagram, because people are more money hungry, because a lot of people, there's all this buzz about it right now, they're going to charge you a ton of money to make this happen. I haven't found anyone on Instagram who's nice enough to say, hey, I'll share that video for free. That's going to be great content for my audience. It's very rare. It can happen, but so don't think these strategies can't work for Instagram. They absolutely can, but I found that it's a lot more expensive and it's a lot harder to pull off. Whereas on Facebook, hey, what's the problem if you just set up your page and boom, you gain hundreds of thousands of followers in a short period of time? Guess what? Because you can do it so much faster than you can on Instagram and YouTube, that audience gives you so much credibility to then go to these Instagram pages and go to other collaborators and say, hey, I want to make content with you. I have X amount of fans on Facebook. Let's do something together, right? Like, one main platform is better than no platforms. And if you are going to grind for like 8 months to try to replicate this on Instagram, which I found is more expensive and takes longer, you can do that. But what's going to make more of an impact? You having like 20,000 followers on Instagram, or you having like hundreds of thousands of followers on Facebook, because it's so much easier to make this happen for you. So that's why for me, I choose Facebook right now. That's why I chose to start on Facebook, because you see results fast. I grew from nothing essentially to over 800,000 fans in like 10 months. I think that's unheard of on other platforms unless you get lucky. But there's a real strategy to this. And because of this success on Facebook, I'm now personally starting to build up my Instagram. I might do more on YouTube. I'm probably going to start up content on LinkedIn. And what I can do is I can drive this massive following that I've built on Facebook to those other areas and to those platforms. And that's one thing I noticed from the best content creators, the biggest ones in the world, people like Logan Paul and Jay Shetty and Lewis Howes. You know, a lot of these people I've been able to work with, that's exactly what they do. They focus on one platform, they master it, instead of like kind of doing it half-heartedly on 3 different platforms and getting to 1,000 followers, which no one cares about. So I am pumped for you. I really hope this helps you. This is a special bonus video I wanted to include, and I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to continue on to the next module for some next steps.